Hello guys, I'm Aidan. I'm the creator of the Genso trading card game, which can be found on the Game Crafter. You can get booster packs there or download the free rules. They are a PDF file, so they can be downloaded on most devices. For today's video, I wanted to talk about monster abilities because they're a very important part of the game. Monster abilities can be useful or they could not, depending on what monster they're attacking, I suppose. There are different kinds of abilities. There are the more common abilities, which most monsters may have. For example, the ability Fly. It's called Fly because most air monsters have it, but quite a lot of other monsters do as well. And it's named because quite a lot of monsters will have it. Other ones, like Weasel's ability, for example, Weasel here, and on this card. When you summon him, you can draw 2 cards. That's just his ability. It doesn't have a name because not a lot of monsters have it. So I'm going to go through the named abilities and what they do. So the first one is Fly. A very, very useful move, which can be very annoying if you don't have it and your opponent does. So say for example Blaze and Jakku. Now if Blaze didn't have Fly and he attacked Jakku, Jakku would still have quite a lot of life left. In fact, Jakku would still have 30 life left if I'm correct. But with Fly, Blaze can ignore the defense. And any monster with Fly ignores the opponent's defense when attacking. So, instead of Jakku having 30, when Blaze attacks, the defense will become 0 whilst Blaze is attacking and leave Jakku destroyed. And that's why Fly is very useful. However, most monsters aren't as strong as Blaze and have Fly. It's because he's a rare hero, powerful monster that he does. The next one is Ghost. Ghost is the same as Fly. It's just it makes more sense for a ghost monster to have the ability Ghost rather than call it Fly. Because, I mean, a bird can have Fly, but a ghost, a spirit, can't really have Fly. Even though they would do the same thing, the abilities, it wouldn't have made sense. So they have 2 different names just to make more sense for the monsters who have them. Then, Stun. If a monster's stunned, then it can't move for 1 turn or 2, whatever it says on the card. So, for example, it might say your opponent is stunned, your opponent's monster is stunned for 3 turns. But maybe not that much. That is quite a long time to be stunned. Next up, Fury. If a monster has Fury, then they can attack twice in your turn. Fury is really useful, but it depends on the opponent's monster, I suppose. Next up is Solid. Solid is one of my favourite moves because it was newer when I originally made it on paper. And because I was losing a lot to my sister because she has an air deck and quite a lot of them had Fly, I was losing quite a lot. So I made the ability Solid to make it a bit more fair. Monsters with Solid ignore the ability Fly. So that's the kind of thing. Yeah, your monster might have Fly, but your opponent's monster might have Solid. So it depends. It's all about luck. It's all about what you draw and what your enemy draws. Or your opponent, rather. Next up, Burn. Now, Blaze also has Burn. Now, this would be a good example. Say Jakku wanted to attack Blaze, which it could do because 70 attack and 30 defense. Now, Blaze would lose life, but Jakku would then get burned because of the ability Burn. So, if any monster attacks a monster with the ability Burn, then the attacking monster, like Jakku, gets burned. Now, a burned monster loses 5 life per turn, which isn't a lot of life to lose, but because they lose 5 life each turn, it then slowly kills them. And if it slowly kills them, they eventually die. If they eventually die, they cannot attack you. So, Burn is very good. And so is Poison, because Poison is the same as Burn, but just with a different name. Because it wouldn't make sense for Blaze to have the ability Poison, but it would if it was called Burn. So yeah, 2 abilities, The exact same but with different names. Next up is Dive. Now, a monster with Dive can be returned to your hand during your turn. So in your turn, if you have a monster with Dive on your field, you could just bring it back to your hand. That can be useful if your opponent has a strong monster, and if you want to just bring it back to your hand to protect it, maybe summon it at a later time. It's all about really strategy and just saving your monster from any damage it could take. Next up is Taunt. Now, a monster with Taunt means it has to be the first target for attack, which may not sound amazing, but it can be very good for saving your other monsters. So say for example, you have a monster with Taunt and you have another 4 monsters on the field. If your opponent has another 5 monsters on their field, they can only attack the one with Taunt. They can't target the other ones. So all them other ones can do whatever they need to do with their abilities, whatever, and the monster with Taunt has to be attacked. That can be very useful if the monster with Taunt is a strong monster with a good defense. And solid would be even stronger. Okay, next up is Mystic. Mystic means it ignores all monster abilities. So if your monster has Mystic and an enemy targets your monster with an ability like Fly, the opponent's monster can't use Fly. It has to attack your monster normally without Mystic. It's the same as Solid, but it works for every ability. So Mystic is basically like a much better Solid, but only really good monsters have it. There's not many. So yeah, it's a really good ability, but not all that common. Then the last one is Shoot. Probably my favourite ability, because Shoot allows you to attack your opponent's life points directly without having any problems of monsters being in the way. However, be warned that a monster with Shoot will be a very good target for your opponent's monsters. However, if you have another monster with Taunt on your field, then your monster with Shoot cannot be the first target. So, see, it's all about strategy. It's all about thinking. And then the last thing I want to say is a Mega. I haven't used this yet, but I will do for rare monsters and powerful monsters. It only really works for moves like Burn, because if say Mega Burn, for example, a monster with the Mega Burn doubles it. So Mega Burn, instead of losing 5 life, it will be 10 life. Mega Poison, a poison monster, would then be Mega Poisoned, I suppose, and it will lose 10 life per turn. Ones with Mega Fury would be able to attack 4 times. So it just doubles the effect of it, really. But again, none of them have it yet, so don't get your hopes up for any Mega abilities. And that's it for today. I'll try and make my videos shorter because this one's quite a bit long. But thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Check out Genso on the Game Crafter. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you soon.